What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 14 of the CV show. My name's Richard, still working with a new interface. Hopefully we get it right tonight. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. If you can't hear us, just let us know in the chat and we'll sort it out. Right, today we have a big ragged bunch of idiots, the usual suspects. So please, can you give a big warm welcome to Jason from Odd Couple Statue Review?
G'day, guys. Thanks for having me.
Finally. Also, we have Thor and Rodney in Washington. How you doing, guys?
What's up? Saber's not working.
Thor, size doesn't matter, I promise. We also have Mr. ID, Ian Dempster.
What's up, guys? My saber always works.
Jesus. Ian, I know I've spoke to your wife. I know that's not true, so stop lying.
Oh, no.
And finally, we have Obi-Wan. God knows what he's doing, Obi. This is Chris Moret.
Jedi Chris is here to serve.
Oh, I was pushing this.
Right, we're on twice tonight. We've got the CV show, and then we've got the spoiler review for Sith Happens for The Last Jedi later, which I'm hoping will be conflict-free. There might not be a collectiverse after that. We might have all disbanded and just gone, oh shit. Okay. So anyway, moving on, we're going to start with, we've got 3 topics tonight. We're going to start with topic 1, which is, will the mixed reaction that we've seen for Star Wars The Last Jedi, will that affect the release of statues and figures going forward? Because obviously, if only 50%, 7%, whatever it was, 54% of people who like The Last Jedi buy a statue. I mean, they're not gonna, but if they did, then that's still not all of them selling, so how would that affect? I'm going to basically throw this out to Jason first, see what he thinks, because I know that he loved The Last Jedi that much that he will buy every statue that comes out.
Buy none of it. Call it a protest vote. No, look, honestly, it's not going to affect them too much. I mean, like, let's be honest. They could bring out the biggest steaming pile of crap and people will still buy it. You know, I mean, it's Star Wars. You know, there's certain licenses and that will always continue to make money. Batman, Star Wars, things like that. That's why they keep making so many of them. I mean, like, let's be honest, there's not much difference between some of the characters that they're doing now and the ones that they've got planned. Like, what, the new Kylo's just got a little thing down the side of his face. The only one that's really of any significance, and I'm sure all Star Wars fans, whether you like the movie or not, will probably still get it if you're into that sort of thing, would be the Luke Skywalker, the older Luke Skywalker that they've just put up Theo now. And of course, it's got the bonus porg that comes with it, so everyone's going to be really excited about that. They'll be selling porgs for days. This is the new Ewok, guys, so get ready, man. You're going to just see these bloody things everywhere. And there'll be special feature ones that the eyes get real big and stuff like that. And yeah, look, the litany of alien creatures and stuff like that in this one, probably not so much, so they probably won't sell as much in that regard. There was a lot of, I don't think they'll be selling the Asian sidekick chicks character too much. Rose, is it? I don't think Rose's character is going to sell too well. Other than that, I learned a lot of the characters just look the same as they did from the last one. I mean, you can get a Rey now and she's got a lightsaber, but that's pretty much it. But then in saying that, look, people are going to buy it. People are going to buy gifts for their kids. People are going to buy gifts for Star Wars fans. When they go to the shops and they see a new toy and they go, oh, that dude I know that likes Star Wars, he'll like this. And who doesn't like an AT-AT? You know, no matter what. You know, if someone goes, oh, I've got you something cool. You look at, man, you know, it's an AT-AT or a Millennium Falcon or something like that. Like, dude, like that'll always sell. But
So,
yeah, look, let's go to the bloke in the Jedi robes, Chris. We'll,
Yeah, I had to spice it up a little bit this morning, so I didn't wear the full costume because it's a lot of layers. But anyway, I have to agree with Jason on this. I mean, I don't see them making a whole bunch of different alien species statues and figures. I think maybe in some of the wall art pieces you might have some of that, but I definitely am looking forward to see what style of Luke Skywalker statues and we call them hot toys and all that will be coming out here in the near future. And of course, Rey, you can't go wrong with Rey. I mean, she wore the same costume at the end of Episode 7. She was in the whole same thing for, with the exception of a poncho for Episode 8, and so that's a pretty easy sell. But yeah, I think the Captain Phasma. Those of us that read the book, Phasma.
No spoilers, by the way, guys, for the movie going forward. Just want to let you know.
Okay, yeah, no worries. No, just like the Captain Phasma. You know, I've read the book, and she is such an awesome warrior. I mean, I think if anyone's read the book and has seen at least 7 and 8 episodes, I think they're probably going to, you know, try to gravitate towards the Phasma statue because I think it's just amazing. And I'm not a huge Stormtrooper fan, so I think I would absolutely buy her. Kylo Ren, yeah, you know, if he gets him in a menacing pose, I mean, that'll sell pretty good. And hey, you know, Porgs, yeah, unfortunately I have some behind me. I think they're cute as heck, so I see that kind of taking off. Coffee mugs, you name it, they'll be all over the place. But as far as the other folks like Hux and things like that, I don't see them becoming a big demand. And then, of course, Snoke. I want to see more Snoke stuff. I want to see him in action, you know, force pose with, you know, like you saw in the teaser trailers. He's got Rey kind of suspended, maybe something like that, like a diorama type thing. I would definitely buy that as well.
Chris,
yeah.
Do you think that the mixed reactions are going to hamper the edition sizes maybe? Because a lot of these statues will be in production probably already. They've been in production for a while. Now, they might still release them, but does the reaction mean that they might be considering not putting a TBD edition size on it and basically saying there's only going to be 400, there's only going to be 500? Because do they want to take that risk of saying TBD, or do they want to say, okay, well, let's just put it at 500? So could it be a beneficial thing for collectors?
I think so, because you are going to have a limited edition. I think with the way the movie, you know, all of us that have seen it, I think if they're going to be larger sizes, like the 1/3, the 1/4 scale, I think those are going to be kind of limited edition. And I think collectors are going to go nuts for that. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you see it on eBay for a lot of money, but I don't see them making a whole lot. I think the smaller ones are going to be a safer bet, in my opinion.
For Rodney, what do you think?
I do think the edition size is going to be smaller for him. I would love to see Kylo Ren with a switch out head, one with the helmet and one without with the scar on him, and the Phasma. I would like to see one of her.
It's coming up.
But they are.
Yeah,
okay, well, that's good then. As far as the rest of them, I don't think, because they probably had all this planned out, you know, before the reactions to the movie, you know, they're not going to stop making them. But yeah, I think it definitely will affect the edition size for a lot of them. So.
Well, you definitely know Luke is going to sell, you know, because he's Luke. I kind of like, I mean, I'm not giving away anything. He had a couple of outfits in the movie, but I kind of like the latter outfit toward the end. That one, if they made that one, I'd definitely be on board for that. It actually made me want Kylo PF, because the first movie I wasn't much of a Kylo fan. I thought he was kind of whiny and all that stuff, but in this movie he proved his mettle to me. And I kind of like his outfit in this movie, so I kind of agree with Rodney. I need one with his helmet, one without. I kind of like that better than the hooded look he had in the first movie. But Jason's right, man. You know, it's Star Wars. It's still gonna sell, but yeah, the edition size probably might get hit due to you know, some unpopular reviews of the movie.
Ian, what do you think, mate? We have a giant lightsaber that's bigger than you.
Yeah, you know, I don't think that they're going to come out with a lot of new stuff. I mean, I think that they already have the stuff left over from The Force Awakens that they can use for this one, unless they come out with, you know, like maybe a Rose premium format. But who the hell is going to buy that? Look, the movie was a big letdown for me. I had a lot of nice things to say about the movie, but I don't see them making a lot of statues out of this movie. I just don't think the characters are there, and they already have them in production. I got to see that Captain Phasma at the sideshow event in the Chinese theater. That Captain Phasma is effing legit. I think it's the best premium format next to the Mythos line. So I think that is going to carry the Star Wars statues until the next movie, to be honest with you. But I don't see any other premium formats coming out that I would be excited to get.
Well, I've read I've listened to the Phasma book, the audio book, because I like the sound effects and I like the music that goes along with it. So I think I would love to see what. I mean, Ian, Chris, back me up on this. If they did Phasma from the book and they'd be going off pretty much just an explanation, she'd probably look amazing. Off what you hear about what she wears in the book and her origin and stuff. So, and I can't recommend it more. Listen, watch that book, read that book, or listen to the audio book. It's really good. But Phasma's outfit doesn't change movie to movie, so they're not going to do a new Phasma. Luke's going to get done. It will affect the edition size. Will we get another Rey? Probably because she's the main character, but will we get another Rey? Because, you know what I mean, the last one didn't sell out. She didn't sell out, she's still available, you know what I mean? It was a crap exclusive, to be fair, a bloody helmet on the floor or something. And, you know what I mean?
It wasn't a really good statue either.
The face is a bit dead. The rest of the statue is really nice. The mixed media and stuff like that. The base is a bit lacking. I mean, I was comparing it earlier with the Jyn Erso. I think the Jyn Erso is a much better statue. You've got the switch out portrait. You've got a lot of better mixed media. You've got the weapon. You've got the better base. So it's a better PF if you're going to get one. I didn't like the fact that BB-8 cost $750,000 to get him to go next to her. I thought that was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it might have as well been for the amount of price that you had to pay just to get BB-8 to stand next to her and look up at her like that. I think that they should have put BB-8 as the switch out or something. I know it's a lot, but as far as will it hurt? These have been in production. We know they have because we know Sideshow have been months and months in production. It will be at a stage now where they're ready to start previewing them to cash in on the excitement. Now, there's a lot of people. Say if there's only 57% of people like The Last Jedi, that's still a lot of people around the world. That's still a lot of people. That's a lot of collectors to buy. So I think it won't hamper. I don't think it's hamper Hot Toys. I think Hot Toys can take a loss. You got to think Hot Toys had Justice League just come out. They've got Infinity War coming out soon. So they're going to be literally driving the money truck up for the next 12 months just to Hot Toys. So I don't think they're going to worry about taking a loss on Last Jedi if they do. So I think they're going to keep producing them. You won't see a Rose. I'm sorry, you won't see a Rose. I love Kelly Marie Tran. I think she did a good job with what she was given. But you won't see a Rose. She's just not one of them characters. So
you could get the guards. You could get the Praetorian guards. But, I mean, that's kind of boring.
Yeah, you could. I mean, they were good. I like. You know what? They had very little to do. That's not a spoiler. You know, they're not exactly going to be running around being a main character. You pretty much know that. But I liked them. I thought they were. I mean, I like both. I like the original guards. I like these. I thought they were well. The costumes were done well and everything. Snoke. I'd like to see a 1/4 Snoke on his throne or something. That'd be pretty cool. Kylo. I think you're going to get another Kylo purely because he was quite differently dressed. From the original Force Awakens to this, he had a different cape, he had a bit of a different outfit, he didn't have a helmet for most of the film, and he had the scar obviously, and this is all in the trailer, this is not a spoiler, so I think you probably will see another Kylo. I quite like the new Kylo bus they're bringing out, the full-scale bus. Thor, did you see that?
I didn't see, I saw they were going to release it, but I didn't see the actual bus, no.
Yeah, they went past that.
Yeah, cool. It looked pretty cool. It looked nice,
like Fan Man on the screen.
Yeah, but I will. If they make Snoke before they make the Emperor, I'm gonna be kind of upset.
Well, you're gonna be upset because they might.
You think they're gonna do that?
I think they'll do Snoke.
That's crazy.
Well, it's all about licensing. Ian McDermott, whatever his name was, who did the Emperor, might not want his license used. Might not want his likeness used. It's not. You know what I mean? I'm sure the old contracts they had with Lucas probably were voided when Disney bought it out. So all these, we can use your licensing stuff, maybe was gone. You know what I mean? We don't know what the background stuff is. They might not be able to make. They might have had to do new contracts for the characters again. And he might have said no. So we don't actually know. I mean, if he passes away, you might see something differently because normally families of estates usually see things differently than the actual person, don't they? You've seen this recently with different statues and figures that get released once people pass away. So same with movies. Sometimes you get biopics not until they've passed away, because they don't want their life on screen, but then the family want to either cash in, which is probably harsh, or they want to see him memorialized a bit.
Yeah, but he actually looks like he's in pretty good shape. I don't think he's going to be passing away anytime soon.
No, he's waiting for it all to fail and die down, and then he's going to buy it back at half price.
Well, after he sees The Last Jedi, he might have a heart attack.
Oh, God. I think the Snoke statue would look interesting just because of how Snoke's face is all disfigured.
I want a smiling Snoke, like that meme that's getting around.
No way. No way.
What you
Looks
like?
like Chris.
What does Chris think?
About Smiling Snoke? No way. Would I like to see a Snoke statue? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's got enough battle damage. He looks creepy as all heck. It would be cool if they could sell it where he had his big, awesome throne, and he had the guards, you know, at least 4 of them with the different weapons kind of flanking the side. I think that would be amazing. I would.
Hey, what's up, Davey Blight and Stephen Horton are in the chat room. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome, guys.
I have to apologise, Stephen. He was supposed to be on this episode, and I completely forgot. I'm sorry, mate. Honestly, I apologise. He was supposed to be on this episode, but I have literally... We've got 2 shows tonight. I had to do a bloody new intro for Sif Happens, and I had loads of other stuff to do, so I apologise, mate. If you can come on next week, we'd love to have you on. It's my bad. My bad. But do you know what? When you're babysitting these lot, it takes up your time, and I don't get foster money or anything for looking after them, you know what I mean? It's just literally... This is just how it is. So. This is what I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, by the way, and the website, and shows to run, and everything. It's, do you know what?
Look at you, man.
I'm going grey a bit, and I can see why. I really can. Anyway, let's move on to topic 2, guys. Topic 2: should more statue companies invest in European warehouses? Now, we know that First for Figures have a European warehouse, and I've spoke to Sideshow personally about a European warehouse. And it's always in the discussion, it's said, but should it be a big discussion? Because if I didn't have to pay tax and I didn't have to pay massive shipping, I'm sure I would buy a lot more statues. So is it not financial sense to say, let's invest in a European warehouse? Because the amount that we pay in taxes, I mean, it could all change when Brexit kicks in. We might be having the same conversation. Should we have a UK warehouse? But basically, the amount of paying taxes is ridiculous, and it stops me sometimes from buying statues. So I want to know, should these bigger companies who have the pocket to spend think about the Europeans a bit more? Because we buy a lot of statues, we should be actually in the talks, or should it just happen? So, I mean, Ian, what do you think first?
Well, if these big companies, and I assume you're speaking more of Sideshow than any other company, is that correct?
Prime One, Sideshow, XM. I know licensing, obviously, with XM, but still.
Well, here's the thing: is that a lot of these statue companies, they're not considered large companies. They're small businesses. They're not on the stock market. You can't buy stock or invest in these companies. They're privatized companies. So if you bring them warehouses or have them make warehouses, they're going to have to expand in everything that they are. So maybe that they can't afford to expand, or they're not ready to expand just yet, and that's why they don't have them. And maybe that's why they don't want to have the warehouses. They're just not ready to expand in that area. I mean, their production is going to have to increase quite a bit, in my opinion, if that happens. Chris?
Well, I think it'll cost them quite a bit of money just to have a facility to warehouse all that stuff. And I think the paying the extra shipping, I do see that hindering sales overseas. But at the end of the day, it's that bottom line, and
because Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, right. So at the end of the day, the collectors are the ones that are paying that, and if they could have something, say in UK or Australia, where it can cut back on the taxes and things of that nature, I think they would have a lot more people buying their stuff. Because when I go to Australia and I'm buying Star Wars stuff there, I'm paying double what I would pay here, and that's just because of the taxes and the shipping and all that. So I think that puts
more shipping than taxes.
Right, and to me it puts Jason, it puts Richard, it puts you guys at a disadvantage, and I I don't like that. I think they should be able. I mean, if they're that big, they should be able to have something overseas, some sort of a singular co-located thing, so it would reduce some of the costs. But again, it's money. Money talks, and they're making a profit on us. And that's just the bottom line. Thank you for that. Anyway,
Rodney, what do you think, mate?
I think all the big companies. I would love for all the big companies to have a warehouse in Europe, somewhere on the landmass of America, either Canada or Mexico. Also, that you don't have to cross the big body of water. So you would have a warehouse somewhere in Australia for all of them. That's what I would love to have, especially for me, for XM. I don't usually go for XM because of the shipping issue. And I know over there, it's the same thing with Sideshow for you guys. But I don't know how soon that stuff is going to happen. It does cost money for them to open new warehouses in places, and they got to fight with making a profit and also trying to keep us happy and keep us from bitching about the prices going up. So I don't know. It's nice to want things. I just don't know if we're gonna get it.
Well, I mean, it does make sense to me. If First Four Figures can pull it out, they got to be considerably smaller than XM Sideshow, and they have warehouses everywhere. And I once heard Alex say he bought a piece from somewhere, I can't remember where. He said the tax alone, that was a whole nother piece he could have purchased. So actually, they're kind of hurting themselves by not having warehouses, because that's another piece they could have sold. You know what I mean? So really, I don't know if it's greed and they don't want to increase their bottom line or what it is, or but to me, it really doesn't make sense that they don't expand the warehouses.
Well, it's not greed. It's just how the business chooses to operate. It's a global economy, and globally, to have warehouses globally is a whole different animal than just shipping something out. These aren't large businesses. They're not large corporations. They're small businesses. I think Sideshow has 150 employees.
Well, I mean,
so more warehouses means more employees. They're not. Why? When they could just ship it out and you guys have to pay for it.
I might agree with you if First Four Figures wasn't doing it, and they're considerably smaller than Sideshow. You know what I mean? So that
exactly. But how big are the warehouses for First Four Figures?
Well,
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, to be fair, I think that. By the way, my partners, it just sounded like there was a complete catastrophe going on in my toddler's room, so I'm probably going to get it after this because I can't help her out. I don't know what's gone on in there, but it sounds like it's disaster. So, let's get off topic, but I'm probably for it after this. European warehouses. Like I said at the beginning, we pay a lot in tax and shipping. Is this not in the conversation? Like, I know that bricks and mortar cost money and stuff, and hiring places, but you make a crap load of money off people. Come on, you got to look at your bottom line too much. Just give us a European warehouse. Let us buy more stuff off you. I'm sure you'll make more than you lose. I'm sure whatever you pay per year for a warehouse or to get stuff shipped, you'll make a lot more from the European people who actually buy it. So, that's what we need. So, is it going to... I don't know. I've spoken to Sideshow, and I've asked them this personally. The guy I contacted Sideshow, and he said it's always in the discussion. So if it's always in the discussion, that means that it's important. That means that it's something that they're always thinking about. So why not pull the trigger? Like I say, First Figures can do it. And I'm sure it costs those guys... They've got more warehouses than any other company that I know. Is that right? Ian, do you know if anybody's got more warehouses than First Figures?
No, for nobody. First Four Figures has the most warehouses, but what is their warehouse? Their warehouse could very well possibly be somebody's house. Sideshow, they have massive... XM, they have massive warehouses. So the number is not necessarily what matters. It could be the size of the warehouse. We don't know. That's the problem. We have no idea.
Yeah, Jason, you get a lot of pieces. I'm sure you pay a lot of tax. Have you probably paid as much in tax as it could be for a quarter of your collection, probably?
That's how much tax I've paid on all my pieces.
So you're fiddling the system then? I'm kidding.
No feeling. We only pay tax on items over $2,000. So any imports over $2,000 because we've got a free trade agreement. So I think what you're going to look at more so than warehousing and stuff like that is trade agreements. You know, we've got very good free trade agreements with a lot of countries. So the only thing that is a main thing for me is shipping. But now put that in perspective. The biggest piece we paid for shipping, I think, recently was $180 for Bane. Okay? Now, to put that in perspective, to send Bane from here in Sydney to the next state over in, say, Melbourne, would cost me $50-$60 anyway. So this has arrived 3 days after it's been ordered. Express shipping from the United States by way of Hawaii, then Sydney, then straight to me, and it gets delivered on a Sunday. I have no problem with $180 shipping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Jason, you get all your statues from people who are trying to sell them because they can't afford to live anymore. You're like that guy. You're like the Nightcrawler of statue buying. You follow people around. You wait for them to say, "God, I gotta get rid of these because I gotta feed my kids," and you're like, "Dude, I'll buy them from you for $100."
Oh, look, dude, I am the ultimate card ass.
You're the Jake Gyllenhaal who follows broke
I've got to take it.
Just when I thought I couldn't hate Jason anymore after we've had this battle about Lord. He doesn't pay tax.
Jason has a new name. It's
Statue from your disaster.
Oh.
Dude, I've got people lined up trying to sell me stuff for next year, and I'm like, I'm picking and choosing, you know. But I tell you what, that mythos you've got behind you there, Thor, might be on the cards, brother.
He literally stands there and he's like, right, tell me your plight. You need shoes for your kids. Okay, I'll give you an extra. I'll give you $20 extra for that statue. That's about
it. Jason looks through the unemployment line. He goes, "Are you a statue collector? Are you a statue collector?
Let's make a deal."
He's like, "No, you still got both. You still got both."
No, bro. Keep your POs. Just tell me what you want to sell.
Donald Trump style, baby.
Nothing wrong with that. Was the art of the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Let's do some business.
Is there a discount for me?
So wrong.
Dave,
I know you're down on your luck, buddy, and I know you need some cash. I know you got those statues right there.
The kids are starving.
Let me get that Doom on throne for about $50, brother.
You've got a green Envy Poison Ivy, and you're looking at getting rid of it for a cheap price, and you're in Australia. I only buy local boys, not overseas.
Yeah.
He only buys local boys. You heard it here.
Heard it first.
Only buys local boys.
What's up, Paradox? How you doing, buddy?
Paradox, we see you, brother.
Paradox gets a lightsaber.
But look, this is my thing with the warehousing issue that you're talking about. It's not a warehousing issue. It's not like they're still going to have to pay import duties on these things that they bring in as a company. You know what I mean? They're going to have to pay rent. They're going to need to pay salaries for people to maintain security, stuff like that. And like I get that, like even just say England alone is a huge market, but like even if you have say the warehouse in say mainland Europe, you're still going to have to pay import fees and transportation fees to get it across the channel.
No, we're not. We don't pay import fees from Europe. We don't pay import fees.
Okay.
We don't pay.
But that's what I'm saying. So, well, then Sideshow's going to have to, using just Sideshow as an example, they'll have to absorb them import fees and hand them over to and charge the rest of the collectors around the world to make up the difference. So screw you. You're not taking my money to make sure you get checked.
Typical Aussie. Seriously, right? I don't know what's gone on at the other side of this door, but it sounds like there's a fucking. It sounds like there's World War III going on outside of this door, and I guarantee it's coming to me at some point. It's just when. So the amount of crap I'm gonna get for talking to you guys right now is. Oh god, I'm dreading it.
Pour you another cold one, bro.
Yeah, if I'm not on the Sif Happens review later and you see my obituary on Facebook, you know what happened. That's pretty much what happened.
It's just gonna be a test screen.
Color bars.
It's gonna be some color bars
And
on
a
the
tone.
Oh Jesus! This is what I deal with kids all day long. Can you see? This is what I have to deal with. So anyway, let's move on to topic 3. We're shooting through them today. To be fair, I need time to get set up for later, so let's shoot through them. Topic 3 is, now we know First for Figures do a lot of these. They do. But why do we not see more gaming statues from bigger companies? I know that the licenses will probably be available and I'm sure they can afford them. I would love to see like an Horizon, Aloy and stuff like that. So why do bigger companies not give the love to the gaming sector that we see from smaller companies like First for Figures? Jason, are you a gamer? I don't know. I mean, you play games with me often day, so are you a gamer?
I love playing with No. Well, yeah, I am a massive gamer, have been all my life. The main problem with gaming statues, I find, is you've got PlayStation gamers, Xbox gamers, PC gamers, you know, and there's very few titles that actually cross all spectrums. You know, just off the top of my head, you've got basically Star Wars games, Fallout, and, well, like probably the biggest of them all, World of Warcraft, right? So Blizzard can make statues and they'll sell like that. You know, their Overwatch and their Blizzard line, they've got no problem with. But the other games, they're niche markets, you know, and they don't cross all countries worldwide, you know. Like you may have some games that are really big in Japan or in the Asian markets. Then you've got a game that's really big in, say, America, you know, like a prime example, World in Conflict. You know, a lot of people outside of America don't know the game. But most American strategy gamers was hands down one of the best strategy games of all time. But to make figures and stuff like that of the characters of it, most people won't know who they are, you know, because they haven't played the games. Even if you go back into the old Command and Conquer, you know, if you did Kane or something like that, hey, blokes like me that know who the guy is, but you show a 16, 17-year-old today, they've got no clue who this guy is. You know, like you look at the biggest games selling characters have been the World of Warcraft figures, StarCraft, you know, the games that are big tournament games, you know what I mean, and have epic storylines. Now, sad to say, they churn a lot of games out. We're not seeing these big games like that coming out anymore.
All right.
Ian? Ian, what do you think? Ian, what do you think?
How many people play video games compared to how many people watch movies?
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
A lot, to be fair. A lot of people play video games.
Yeah, they do, but so much more people watch movies. So your pool of people it's way more for people who watch movies. So why not gear your demographics to somebody or to a set of people that are going to be more familiar with your products?
And like what you're saying, Ian, if you're doing like sci-fi or pop culture movies, yeah, you've got literally billions market base. But if you're dealing with, like, say, you like even in the gaming, you've got RPGs, strategy games, first-person shooters, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So
yeah, but also too, what are the age of these people playing the games too? I mean, most of them are probably going to not be able to afford statues because they're going to be a lot younger people.
They won't know about the statue. They're too busy gaming.
That's true too. Time does seem to go really fast when you're gaming. And
Chris,
you know,
Chris, what do you think, mate? You look like a gamer. I mean, you wouldn't wear that outfit if you weren't.
Chris thinks you mean Dungeons and Dragons types games, not video games.
Nah, you don't know me that well, Ian. Anyway. Yeah, I was a gamer back in the day. I haven't really done any type of serious gaming in probably about 10 years. But what I have been doing is if they come out with a novel or an audiobook, mostly audiobook, I actually go out and buy them. And you know, I got a healthy respect for like Mass Effect and those other those other games that are just absolutely amazing. And then you go into like the toy stores or some of the other I don't know what do you call them, you know, like Target, Kmart, Walmart. They're kind of like half grocery store, half clothing and movies. And they'll have like the 7 or 8 inch action figure from the video games. They look really cool, But again, it's within 2 to 3 months, they're over in the clearance section. You're like, well, these things are really cool. How come people aren't buying them? Because you can put them in a different pose, or you can be like me, you buy 2, you put one up on the wall, you put the other one in a pose in your office, or hopefully here I'll have shelves behind me and I'll look like Jason's up. But I think they're cool. But as far as making the big expensive statues, I have to agree with the guys here. I think the gamers are probably more focused on the actual game. And when the next version of the game is coming out, and you get a few that are like, oh, cool, I saw the statue, or like a friend or a family member goes, hey, I know you like this game. I saw this statue. Here you go. But I don't know if there's going to be a huge market for it. I think like Japan, China, I think it would be huge. Here in the States, it would be a very small, like Jason said, a small niche of people that would get it. And I don't think the companies would make a whole lot of money on it, even though I think they would be absolutely awesome.
Just like what you were saying there, at my local shop here, I actually saw a really good one where they had some really nice Assassin's Creed statues, like ranging across all the titles. Now, even with that, these things were only like $40, $50 each, but they were like ceramic. They weren't cheap plastic crap. And I was actually tempted to get them, but I'm not a player of the game, so why would I buy them?
Jason's not a player. Go figure. I'm sorry, guys.
Is this like the hazing of the new guys?
It just got deathly quiet. That's scary.
Yeah, Chris is partying from last night, man. Look at him. He's probably got a flask underneath that outfit.
Hey, man, I took on the Prince of Darkness last night. So I went to a concert where they had, Navarro and all those guys, and Ozzy showed up. So he played some of his classics, and they had confetti and stuff falling from the ceiling. So as I got home and was getting ready for bed, there was confetti falling all over the floor. So yeah, I'm a little rough this morning, but I'm doing fine, thank you. Force is strong with this one.
Yeah, Chris was.
You don't look very good.
Chris was at the Roxy last night.
Well, I always look this way, so
Chris, were you at the Roxy last night, Chris?
Hey, Ungraceful Toad, what's up? He's in the chat room. Same with my boy Jeff Gerard.
Hey, welcome.
Gaming statues.
Okay, we're experiencing some.
All right.
Go, Thor.
All right. All right. Well, I think as far as the video games, we're in a hobby where we're into the statue thing. So if you're into the statue thing and you just happen to have played a video game, you're going to be interested in it. But like you guys were saying, if you're interested in the games first, you're not really thinking about the statue side of it. And, to spend $300 and $400 or more for a statue of the video game, you might be thinking, well, damn, I could buy the next video game of that's coming out. But so it's a smaller pool because you have to be into the hobby for the statues first. As far as movies, who doesn't watch movies? Even if you don't like the comic book version movies, everybody watches movies. I know tons of people who think that because you play video games, like that's a kiddie thing. You're too old to play video games. After you, I'm gonna be playing video games till I die. So I think Ian was saying it's a smaller pool to pull from when you're dealing with video game statues. I mean, Witcher is one of my favorite video games, and I love the Prime 1 statues from Witcher. But, they're not going to sell as much as the Batman stuff because they're doing Batman movies, or even comic books is a bigger audience than the video game audience. So I just think you got a bigger pool with the movie statues and with the comic book statues than with the video game. So it's safer. It's a safer bet.
Well, I think if you look at the video game stuff, the majority of it is your fighting games, your Street Fighters and your Mortal Kombat, PCS. That's pretty much what they're known for. And I never really thought about what Jason, what you said, man. When you got your exclusive games, only Xbox users will buy Gears of War statues, or because you know what I mean. But I've always wanted some Mass Effect, man, because I want all the Asari chicks lined up in a row. You know what I mean? Rogue Rick, I'm with you, brother. Now, that's one I could go for. But yeah, I've been dying for some Mass Effect statues, and you know, they had some. I think what is Game Ahead's making some.
Rex is coming. Rex is coming. Commander Shepard was done by Sideshow, and I think there's also what's his name, Garrus, as well. You can get.
See, all the dude, I need some Asari, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we know how you light up those women, Thor. We know now.
We need them sliding out the phone. But yeah, I think it's mostly your fighting games. But yeah, I think the exclusive thing hurts him a little bit.
Well, is that a Vega you have in the back there?
I do have Vega. You know, I mean, for me, Street Fighter was one of my, you know, one of my cohorts growing up. But I mean, I'm not hating on gaming statues. You know what I mean? But you know, I want master.
Well spotted then. I mean, like Pop Culture Shock with their Street Fighter line, the entire company was pretty much built on it.
Exactly.
Their Mortal Kombat statues are pretty legit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The Guru.
See, that's a prime example of what I'm saying. You need a game that crosses all the genres. Like that was on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and arcade. You know what I mean? So you've got at least 1.5 billion players worldwide that have actually either seen the game or played it.
And Street Fighter's been out since '92, so most of those folks are grown up and got money now. So that's why they're selling those, you know. So
now, what do you guys think of the new Rampage movie? They should be making statues out of Rampage.
Dude, that's an old. You don't remember Rampage?
I remember Rampage.
That's an old game, man.
That's really old.
I know. Thanks a lot, Thor. Appreciate that.
No, I remember. No, I remember Rampage.
I remember that.
My game back in the day was ER Kung Fu, where you had to fight all the dude with the
yeah.
That was
the Atari 2600
that
game.
was the game, man.
I'm sorry, I still like Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter was
that was my game.
Elevated action. That was my shit.
Can't do a statue of Spy Hunter.
Hey, Richard, are you still with us?
Always.
World War III going on.
I was muting myself because my toddler is throwing a fit over there. I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't know what is going on, but she is throwing an absolute fit.
We can hear Richard.
I know, and I'm dead, guys. Honestly, this is my obituary. Please leave Collectiverse to Ian.
Richard, what the hell did you do? There's a backstory to this, Richard.
There's a backstory to this. I didn't do anything. The baby's done something, and my missus just walked into the room and went, "Oh my god!" So it could be anything. I'm telling you. So, and then we've had literally the last 10 minutes has sounded like the end of Godzilla. So I don't know what happened. Honestly,
The Rampage.
Yeah, seriously. It's been nice knowing you. I appreciate all the good things that you did for me, but I won't be around much longer, so sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm basically now going to take a punch to the face for you guys. So.
Quick, jump on the next Qantas flight and come hide, Richard.
Nah, I don't like you. You don't like Last Jedi. I'd rather die. So basically...
Hey, what's up? Hey, Gary Speed's with us. Did you guys check out?
Gary, we see you later.
What's up?
Gary will be in the spoiler review with us in a bit. He'll be taking my place because I won't be there because I'll be dead. As far as gaming statues, okay, I would like to see more licenses done. I'd like to see... I think Horizon's been a big enough game. Would you not agree to do a statue? I mean, Jesus, this was a massive game of last year, so I hope Prime 1 get it, to be fair. I'd love to see a 1/3 Aloy. So, I don't know. I'm not a massive gamer. I'm a gamer, but I'm not a massive gamer. We're never going to see a Grand Theft Auto statue. That'd just be weird.
No Nico. No Nico.
No Trevor. No none of that stuff.
No.
Oh, we need a Trevor. You need a Trevor.
A diorama of Nico with the hooker in the car.
How come I had a feeling that was coming from Thor?
I was waiting for it, yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ. First Figures I think First Figures are kind of pulling up the gaming statue world. They do this Temptation Thursday where they basically put up a statue, or a character really, that they want to say, would you buy this? And then if it gets an overwhelming positive thing, I'm guessing they put it in a pile that says buy, that they will buy, so that they do a statue for it. Which is smart really. It's kind of... gauging the audience before they do something. So it's quite smart. But there is a lot of characters I've seen go up for it that kind of get thrown to the wayside that I would love, and it's like, no, don't throw it away. And they're all classic characters as well. I'd like to see a few more newer characters come up to the thing. I don't know why Sideshow don't do it. I think they are more focused on comics and movies and stuff. So I think that's.
Well, Sideshow had the Master Chief, right?
Yeah.
Who's the Master Chief and why?
From Halo.
Halo.
So, well, to be fair, all I'm bothered about is an Aloy. Just give me a friggin' Aloy. This entire topic so I can get an Aloy. Can you all be quiet, please? Thank you. Now we're gonna get Street Fighter. The Mortal Kombat's from PCS. I'm not paid by PCS, so I'm gonna say this. They lean like Michael Jackson in Smooth Criminal. They do. I'm sorry, they do. So the Mortal Kombat statues, I've seen them leaning. It is literally like digga digga ding ding, digga ding ding, digga ding ding. I've not been too impressed with the Mortal. Who was it who did the Goro for Mortal Kombat? Because that was nice, but I've not seen that.
Yes.
But has that come out yet?
They did two of them. They did an old one, the really big one. I'm not sure if it came out. That's a 1/3. It's like gigantic, so I'm not sure.
I think we should get another Liu Kang because the last one that was done was amazing. It was an amazing representation of Liu Kang. So. I will say something. The new PCS Raiden looks amazing. Has anyone seen it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does look really cool.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, nice lighthouse, nice effect.
I'm trying to think of games that I grew up. I mean, I'd love to see. I know there's been two. Who was it who did the Tomb Raider not long ago? Somebody did a Tomb Raider, and it came out. And it was,
Rick has the Tomb Raider, yeah.
Yeah, they did the original Lara Croft. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Connecticut's The Gaming Heads. I can't remember. And there was it was Lara in the original outfit, and she had like a spear or something behind her, and it was like I can't remember who it is.
Yeah, that sounds like the one Rick has.
I thought he had the one where she.
But she had some kind of spear or something, and she done stole behind her. Yeah.
Oh, he's killing some.
Oh shit!
Chopping up meat. What is that?
Richard, I think the wall's going to
coming. What is that?
Sounds like sound effects from the taxi driver.
The wolves are at the door, bro. The wolves are at the door.
They got the
Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Where is Johnny?
Tear down this wall.
Maybe that's Richard's missus throwing up the kid against the wall.
Oh my god!
It sounds like it. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go in a sec, guys. Because seriously,
It might become a snuff film. Murder on screen. Snuff film.
I think we've.
All right, what's the next topic?
That's it. We've got.
That's
three.
the last topic, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, I've got another show to film tonight, and I've got to die. Can you give me a break?
Yeah, you really haven't given us 100% today, Richard.
I won't have 100% left in me. I won't have 1% left.
That's awesome.
I'll be dust. I'm telling you. As soon as this call ends, I will be dead. So you think I want to prolong it, but do you know what? Death sounds sweet right now. So
Need a graphic of your energy bar.
You're such
Just
tarts.
keep your camera on so you have witnesses. That's all.
Right.
I hate you all. I really do. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Really appreciate everyone who joining in on the chat. Next week we'll be back, obviously, again for some more topics. Make sure you tune in. When is it? An hour? Is it an hour? Yeah, in an hour's time we're going to be doing the spoiler review, and I mean very heavy spoilers. Of the Last Jedi. Unfortunately, Jason's opinion won't be in it, which is very sorely missed. Sorely missed, but he won't be in it.
He'll be muted every time it's on.
He gonna be in the chat. I got a feeling.
One day you invited Gary Speed, and Gary Speed feels about it the exact same way I do.
He's not on it for real.
Yeah, but I love Gary, so that's fine. I don't love you.
This is gonna be the if it happens. This is gonna be the best episode I think we've ever filmed. Next to the Halloween party, it's gonna be the best. So you guys got to tune in for this. We got a lot of. Dude, we're gonna fucking throw blows over the screen. I know it.
It's gonna get ugly. That's why I'm here.
Anyway, guys, thanks for everyone who turned up.
We're not invited, Ian, because they know what we think.
Anyway, ignore the Aussie.
Well, you got Putin, the communist, over there. Won't let anybody on.
Back in the
Hey,
day, bro. There's
The movie's in the middle. I didn't
All
hate
right,
it.
we gotta go. Richard's getting mad. Richard's getting
Yes,
upset.
I am getting mad. Right, I've got to go and die now. Can you please let me go and die? Thank you very
All right,
much.
later, guys. I'm out.
Thanks,
All right.
Hat.
Love you all. Bye.
Have a good one. Happy holidays.
Happy collecting, guys.
All right.
Oh, love.